Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Teddy Alpian. Hello everyone. And now I will share about news in Indonesia. The news is government expect emergency vaccine approval within weeks. Indonesia has received the second consignment of Chinese firm Sinovac Biotic COVID-19 candidate vaccine, with the government seeking authorization for the vaccine emergency use within weeks. The additional 1.8 million doses of the corona vaccine arrived at Soekarno-Hatta International Airport on Tuesday, bringing the total to 3 million ready-to-use doses Indonesia has received so far. After the first batch arrived on December 6, its efficiency, however, is still inconclusive. Authorities have been quick to focus on mass vaccination throughout the country, which has been fighting an uphill battle against the novel coronavirus with a lack of PCR testing and tracking. In the near future, it's expected that 15 million doses of bulk vaccine from Sinovac, which will then be manufactured into individual doses by Bio Farma, will also arrive in Indonesian. Foreign Minister Retno LP Marsudi said during a virtual press briefing on Tuesday. Indonesian Food and Drugs Monitoring Agency, or BPOM, has yet the authorities emergency use the vaccines. The government is hoping for approval in January so that the vaccine of 1.3 million medical workers can begin in the same month, with newly appointed Health Minister Budi Gunadi Sadikin saying he was optimistic about securing the green light in a week or two. The BPOM said the expecting interim result from the ongoing late-stage coronavirus trial in Bandung, West Java, in early January. It will also take into account trial carried out by other countries after experts urged the agency to do so. Given the relatively small number of participants in Bandung study, or 1,620 people, we have communicated with the authorities in Brazil and Turkey, and their data is consistent with the data obtained in Bandung. BPOM head Penny Kusumastuti Lukito said on Wednesday. We have communicated. The agency will also implement rolling submission of this data, which will allow the authorization process for emergency use be carried out stage. Sinovac has yet to share the full detail is the research and detail of the trial conducted on the other countries have only been released in a fisherman fashion. Last week, a Brazilian health official said trial of the vaccine show an efficacy rate of between 50 and 60%. Reuters report some 1,300 participants were involved in the study. Reuters also reported that Turkey research has found the coronavac was 90.25% effective in terms trial result based on data from 1,322 of the study 7,000 participants. Budi said Indonesia had ordered 125 million does the coronavac vaccine mostly in bulk from, and they are expected to arrive in the country until January 2022. Earlier this week, Indonesia also signed a supply commitment letter with American firm Novavax and British firms AstraZeneca for 50 million their respective candidate vaccine. Meanwhile, talks with another American pharmaceutical company, Pfizer, are still ongoing. Novavax only recently began a late-stage study of its COVID-19 candidate vaccines in the United States. Result reported the United Kingdom Medicines and Healthcare Product Regulatory Agency, or IMHRA, meanwhile, recently approved AstraZeneca candidate vaccine for emergency use, making it the first government in the world to do so. Red Nose said the UK approval was good news for Indonesia, as the MHRA was one of the 6 striking regulatory authorities that had a reliance mechanism with the BPOM. So with mechanism of release, the issuance of emergency use authorization for the AstraZeneca vaccine in Indonesia will be issued. The emergency use authorization result England can be used as basis of the review for the issue of emergency use authorization in Indonesia. She said, Indonesia hoped to include 180.5 million people to achieve herd immunity and protect those who cannot receive vaccine. This means the country must secure 428 million vaccine doses. After medical works are vaccinated, 17.4 million public workers will be priorities, and if trials showing promising result of the participant about 59 years old, 20.5 million elderly people will be the next in line. It will take more than 12 months to work up the vaccination program, Budi said. The month is into the pandemic. The country has record more than 740,000 cases since detecting its first COVID-19 case in the March. However, with the limited with the limited testing and tracking capacity, the real figure is believed to be much higher. The pandemic has so far claimed more than 22,000 lives. Even with vaccination plans now in hand, healthy experts are still expecting a long, sluggish road to recovery. They have warned the government against focusing too much on mass vaccination without scaling up efforts to curb transmission. Presiden Jokowi Widodo said Indonesia stepped into 2021 with optimism after turbulent year in which the pandemic affected people's livelihoods and led the country into its first recession since the 1998 Asian financial crisis. I said Indonesia will recover on one condition: if we successfully overcome the pandemic. Jokowi wrote on Twitter on Friday. Thank you so much. The news from Jakarta Post. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.